36. Alan Schwartz is our reader.
Shofar, the voice of community. Belonging to Israel is in itself a spiritual act. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. Blessed are we, blessed our gathering, as we open our hearts to the voice of the shofar. Happy are we who hear its call to return, the sacred trumpet of Tevuah. Blessed are we held close by an ancient sound that echoes la dor v'dor, from generation to generation. Happy are we, rising to the joyful cry of a new year. Blessed are we who hear in these blasts of sound the voice of community. Happy are we who know its embrace, its season of celebration, its quest for connection and purpose. Holy is the gift of community. Blessed the act of belonging.
We turn to page 141 for the Chatzikah. And right before Larry, a white Toyota Z61 MFG parked in back lot has lights on. We turn to page 142. For those who are able, we rise for the Baruch Hu.
Amen.
I read on page 145, "The morning wind forever blows. The poem of creation is uninterrupted, but few are the ears that hear it. Our praise to you, Adonai, creator of the cosmic lights." Page 148. I read at the bottom of the page, "Our praise to you, Adonai, you have singled out your people Israel with love." Page 150.
Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. We join together with Linda in the Be'ahavta, page 152.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anohi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam bam v'shivtecha v'betecha uvleptecha v'derech ushokbecha uvekumecha ukshartam leot al yodecha v'hayu letotachot b'neinecha uchtatam al misusot betecha uvisharecha leman tizkemu v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kidoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hoseti eschem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Emet. We turn to page 163. Remember the stories of slavery, and you will never stop working for freedom. Remembering their fear at the edge of the sea and self-doubt will never defeat you. Remember when desperation turned to celebration, and you will never let go of hope. Remember the words of the Baal Shem Tov, forgetfulness leads to exile. Remembrance is the secret of redemption. Michamocha, page 164.
L'shemecha savat hayam yakat kulam hodu v'himlichu v'yamru Adonai Israel, Uvadehu Numecha, Yehuda Israel, Galenu Adonai Tzebaot Shemo, Kadosh Israel, Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch Israel.
In the organization of our prayers, we now reference Judaism's founders, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. We gratefully recognize that we are inheritors, that our spiritual vocabulary is built on those who preceded us. We then soon voice their understanding that God's power is manifest in somech noflim, support for the fallen. For this was their insight. Humans tend to define power through the ability to exert control over others. Strong men relish in the ability to enfeeble, belittle, or imprison others. Judaism says that real power is the opposite. God's power is manifest through chesed, love and kindness, especially to those who are most vulnerable, the fallen, the sick, and the bound. From Abraham and Sarah to today, this is the lesson to stand up for. We turn to page 170, we rise. We will be chanting the prayers on the right-hand pages to page 170, to 174. Pardon me, 166.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'kaneh hakol, V'zocher chasdei avot ve'imahot, U'mevi gula livnei b'neihem, L'man shemo be'ahava. Zokrenu, Zokrenu, Zokrenu l'chaim, Melech, Melech, Chafetz l'chaim, Hoshia V'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Baruch Magen Abraham Bezrat Sarah Leolam Adonai Mechaye Hakol Atov Rav Lehoshia Mechael Chaim Chesed Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim Somer Chovim Ruvecholim Umatir Asurim Umenayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamot Habal Giburot Uridol Elav Melech Benit Umekayem Umatzmiach Yeshua
Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayei Hakol. Please be seated. We turn to page 174. How to approach this prayer. Many here know quiet pain. All of us have concerns and anxieties. Our commentators interpreted the phrase, all pass under the staff, to mean that all should recognize that life is a gift and there is a divine purpose to life. That insight won't shelter us from troubles, but it might help us to focus on living with them. Our prayer teaches that through return to the right path, through prayer and righteous giving, we can transcend the harshness of the decree. Goodness and affirming goodness make it possible for us and for those we love to cope amidst a recognition that we have been offered a special gift.
Unitane toke kirishtatayom ki urarav be'ayom uron tinaseh malchutecha
Let us proclaim the power of this day, a day whose holiness awakens deepest awe and inspires highest praise for your dominion, for your throne is a throne of love, your reign is a reign of truth. In truth you are judge and plaintiff, counselor and witness. You inscribe and seal, you record and recount. You remember all that we have forgotten. And when you open the book of memories, it speaks for itself. For every human hand leaves its mark, an imprint like no other. Page 176. And a great shofar will cry Tekiah, a still small voice will be heard. Angels in a whirl of fear and trembling will say, behold the day of judgment, for they too are judged. In your eyes, even they are not blameless. All who come into the world pass before you like sheep before their shepherd. As a shepherd considers the flock when it passes beneath the staff, you count and consider every life. You set bounds, you decide destiny, you inscribe judgments. Page 178.
Berosh Hashanah yikatebun, uvyo
On Rosh Hashanah it is written, on the fast of Yom Kippur, this is sealed. How many will pass away from this world, and how many will be born into it? Who will live and who will die? Who will reach the ripeness of age, and who will be taken before their time? Who by fire and who by water? Who by war and who by beast? Who by famine and who by drought? Who by earthquake and who by plague? Who by strangling and who by stoning? Who will rest and who will wander? Who will be tranquil and who will be troubled? Who will be calm and who tormented? Who will live in poverty and who in prosperity? Who will be humbled and who exalted? Page 180, but through return to the right path, through prayer and righteous giving, we can transcend the harshness of the decree. You are everything that we praise you for, slow to anger, quick to forgive. You do not wish the death of sinners, but urge them to return from their ways and live. Until the day of death, you wait for them. You accept them at once if they return. Since you created us, you know our impulses. We are but flesh and blood. Page 182. We read together, we who are mortal, our origin is dust, and so is our end. We wear out our lives to get our breath, like broken vessels, like withered grass, like a flower that must fade, a shadow moving on, a cloud passing by, a mere dust on the wind, a dream that flies away. But for you, ever-living sovereign, time has no limits. Your presence, unbounded by days and years, is everywhere, a glorious mystery none can decipher. Your name is worthy of you, and you are worthy of your name, and our name you have linked with yours. Page 184. We rise.
Nikadesh, Nikadesh, Nikadesh et Shimecha b'olam, Nikadesh et Shimecha b'olam, Kishem Shemakdishim Oto B'Dimishmei Marom, Kakatuv Ayad Neviyecha, Kirara Zayeseh Ve'amar. Adir, adirenu, adir, adirenu, Adonai, Adonai, Adonenu, Mahadir, Mahadir, Shemecha, B'kol haaretz. Echad hu lechem.
Please be seated. We turn to page 189. Andrew Paley is our reader.
By its mere existence, Judaism is never silent protest against the assumption of the multitude that force is superior to truth. Just because it was always a minority, Judaism has become a standard of measurement of the law of morality. How the Jewish community has been treated by the nations among which it has lived is always a measure of the extent to which right and justice have prevailed. For the measure of justice is always its application to the few. It requires religious courage to belong to a minority such as Judaism, always has been and always will be. For many days will come and go before the messianic time arrives.
I clicked on a false update, ironically lurking at a website proposed by one of my alma maters to handle a security breach. The ensuing disaster led to days of frustration, tech support, and the reinstallation of files. So I know something of vulnerability and the importance of security. Within our tradition, truly focusing on hearing the shofar is to be even more beneficial than remote assistance after a computer virus or hack. Contrition while hearing these primordial sounds can penetrate the firewall and help to repair a damaged system. Well before our own digital age, it was taught, the shofar sounds are like keys to access. The Hasidim explain, in the royal palace there are many different rooms and apartments, and there are many different keys for each lock, but the master key of all is the axe, with which it is possible to open all the locks on all the gates. So it is with the ram's horn. The secret meanings are the keys. Every gate has another meaning, but the master key is the broken heart. When a person truly breaks one's heart before God, one can enter into all the gates of the apartments of the sovereign above all sovereigns, the Holy One of blessing. Like a password to an important account, may the sound of the shofar unlock our repentance and God's compassion. In our prayer book, the shofar service has 3 distinct components, further spread out in today's worship. We'll hear Deborah Brandt's shofar several times, and we invite her forward and turn to page 206. For those who are able, we rise. Tekiah, Shvarim Trua, Tekiah, Tekiah, Shvarim, Tekiah, Tekiah, Trua, Tekiah. Please be seated. If the air is comfortable, page 216 for Sim Shalom. Silent prayer, pages 218 and 220. First, a haiku. Our Father, our King, gendered prayer is not our thing. Best not to translate. Avinu Malkeinu was first said during a drought, hoping to influence divine favor. Rabbi Akiva prayed, Avinu Malkeinu, we have no sovereign but you. Avinu Malkeinu, for your sake, have mercy upon us. And the rains fell. There are droughts in our lives too. In choosing a good path, one of humility and hope, may we find support. Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav taught, even if it seems inadequate in your eyes, none of the good you do is ever lost. We turn to page 222. Sherry and Eric Kipperman will be opening our Ark, and our Torah carriers are Paul Sandberg and Mike Pekovich. Please rise. We stand as those who stood before, summoned to judgment, longing for love. Avinu Malkeinu, may these words be a bridge. They come from our hearts. May they lead us to you. Page 223.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol aleinu. Ve'ol aleinu, v'tafeinu. Avinu Malkeinu,
page 226. When first we appeared on the stage of world history, a book was in our hands, this book, this sacred scroll, and we were told this is very near to you, in your mouth and in your heart. And we were told, surely you can do it. And then we learned, this is where heaven and earth touch. Page 227 for Ein Kamocha.
Ein Kamocha v'Elohim Adonai v'ein kamasecha Malechutecha malechut chol olamim Umemshaltecha b'chol dor v'ador Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai ruz le'amo yitein Adonai yivarech et amo b'shalom.
Page 228.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Gadlu Adonai iti umeromema shema yaktav. I skipped it. I skipped it. Ha Adonai ha-gidula v'ha-gibura v'ha-tiferet v'ha-netzach v'ha-hod Ki kol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz Ki kol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz Lecha Adonai ha'malacha Ve'amid na'aseh lechol rosh Al shosha devarim Al shosha devarim Al shosha devarim Olam 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 Al shosha devarim Al shosha devarim Al shosha devarim Olam olam olam
Please be seated. It's tricky up here. Yeah. How do we make this ancient story relevant? It's been taught that while Torah is eternal, its explanation is to be made by the spiritual leaders of Judaism in accordance with the age. In other words, as inheritors of this tradition, Torah is what we make of it. Over the years, scholars have offered, and I have offered and shared, different meanings to our portion, the Akedah, the binding of Isaac. It has been read as a polemic against child sacrifice, a paradigm of perfect religious faith, a statement of martyrdom, an example of the apparent tension between religion and ethics, an archetypal relationship between father and son, a miscommunication, and even a hallucination. But perhaps its clearest message has been hiding all along in plain sight. The story begins, V'Elohim nisa et Avraham. God put Abraham to the test. And that's it in a nutshell. From a Jewish vantage, human beings are not trapped, but tested. Contrast that with Greek mythology, where humans are condemned and restricted by foretold forces. Judaism says there are choices. Human beings have agency and action. Indeed, that's what makes this such an important text for Rosh Hashanah, as we recommit ourselves to renewal and our best selves. Yet with every action and choice, there are ramifications. I also read this haiku earlier, a few weeks ago, and I offer it now. Akedat Yitzhak didn't end well for the ram. Shofars don't either. Rabbi Eric Silver and Charlene Falk are our Ba'alei Koreh, our Torah readers. Dan Goodman is our Gabbai, page 246. Pardon me, 240. The Amdu Rishon, our first aliyah to the Torah, Rabbi Eric Silver.
Look at that, 240. Baruch et Adonai HaMavarach. Baruch Adonai HaMavarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten ha'torah. הדברים האלה והאלוהים נישא את אברהם ויאמר אליו אברהם ויאמר הנני ויאמר כך נא את בני
לך את יחידך שאהבת את יצחק, ולך לך על ארץ המוריה, והלהו שם לעולה על אחד ההרים אשר אמר אליך. וישכם אברהם בבוקר, ויחבוש את חמורו, ויקח את שני נעריו איתו, ואת יצחק בנו, ויבקע עצי עולה, ויקום וילך אל המקום אשר אמר לו האלוהים. ביום השלישי וישא אברהם את עיניו, וירא את המקום מרחוק. ויאמר אברהם אל נעריו, שבו לכם פה עם החמור, ואני והנער נלכה עד כה, ונשתחווה ונשובה עליכם. ויקח אברהם את עצי העולה, וישם על יצחק בנו, ויקח בידו את האש ואת המאכלת, וילכו שניהם יחדיו. ויאמר יצחק אל אברהם אביו, ויאמר אבי, ויאמר הנני בני, ויאמר הנה האש והעצים, ויהסה לעולה. ויאמר אברהם אלוהים יראה לו עשה לעולה בני, וילכו שניהם יחדיו. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. Amen. 30 seconds to mention you're holding the text for me. With our rabbi's permission, you may have noticed that Rabbi Polikoff was holding the text of the blessings for me. Did he think that perhaps I didn't know that? Now, the answer is a simple one, and it's in Tractate Megillah of the Talmud, where it says that one who is who is reciting the blessings for the Torah reading may not look into the Torah, for fear that he may give the impression that someone has written the blessings into the Torah. And so he is to look to the side where the blessings are held for him. Just a little bit of Jewish learning here.
I also know that our second Aliyah, Steve Reps, knows this blessing as well. But I'm going to hold it for you also. So Steve, please be Amdu Sheni. In our texts, we are at the bottom of page 240, verse 9.
Baruch Adonai HaMavarach.
Baruch Adonai HaMavarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMavarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher B'Chabanu Mikol Ha'amim V'Natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Not me. ויבוא על המקום אשר אמר לו האלוהים, ויבן שם אברהם את המזבח ויערוך את העצים ויעקוד את יצחק בנו וישם אותו על המזבח ממעל העצים וישלח אברהם את ידו ויקח את המאכלת לשחוט את בנו ויקרא אליו מלאך אדוני מן השמיים ויאמר אברהם אברהם ויאמר הנני ויאמר אל תשלח ידך אל הנער ואל תעש לו מאומה כי אתה ידעתי כי ירא אלוהים אתה ולא חסכת את בנך את יחידך ממני וישא אברהם את עיניו וירא והנה עיל לך נאחז בסבך בקרניו וילך אברהם ויקח את העיל ויעלהו לעולה תחת בנו.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher tanad lanu Torat emet v'kei olam natan b'chenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Be sure it's from the other side of Dan. Dayamod Shlishi. We invite forward Joel Abramson for our third Aliyah to the Torah.
Baruch et Adonai HaMavorot.
Baruch Adonai HaMavorot Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMavorot Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher bacha bonu michol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayikra Avraham Shem Halacham Hasu Adonai Yireh Asher Yeamer Hayom Bahar Adonai Yereh Vayikra Malach Adonai Avraham Shenit min hashamayim Vayomer b'mishpatinum Adonai Ki yan asher asita et hadavar hazeh v'lo chasachta et b'cha et yilidecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam notav b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yamdu Ribi'i Linda Goodman is our fourth Aliyah to the Torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamborach.
Baruch Adonai hamborach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar banu michol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Kivarech avrechacha arba arbet zaracha ki chochavei hashamayim v'chacho asher asfat hayam v'yirash zaracha et sha'aro yavav v'hit baruchu v'zaracha kol goyei haaretz ekev asher shamata b'koli vayashov Avraham el ne'arav vayakumu vayelechu yachdav el be'er shava vayeshev Avraham bi'er shava.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
We turn to page 246. We invite forward Jan Albert to raise our Torah and Barb Phillips to dress our Torah. We rise as the Torah itself will be raised. On 246, V'zot HaTorah will be found towards the bottom of the page.
V'zot HaTorah asher sam Moshe Bnei Israel pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. La 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 la
Please be seated. We turn to page 233. I ask that those who have recovered from serious illness or who have returned safely from a long journey or have recently survived a dangerous situation to rise. And repeating after me, we say, blessed are you, eternal God, or God eternal. Your majesty fills the universe. Your majesty fills the universe. Through your generosity, I have experienced your goodness. I have experienced your goodness. And we all say, may the source of goodness, may the source of goodness bring you goodness at all times.
Bring you goodness at all times.
Thank you. We turn to page 245 for our prayer for healing. I was at a meeting a week ago here in this building where the presenter scolded one of our attendees who was checking an item on his cell phone. Here too, we're often told to put them away. But I welcome your taking them out now, if they're on silent mode, to text someone you care about that right now you are praying for their healing as the new year begins. Only by all means, please finish your texting prior to the Haftarah. We turn to page 235. Who is honored? Those who honor others. On this day of judgment, we honor those who honor us. First, I ask Dawn Tendler to stand. We've been in battle mode. Our new bookkeeper left unexpectedly, and Val, our administrator, has needed to intervene there. Dawn Tendler, a past president, current ritual chair, and amazing volunteer, has essentially stepped in and done Val's job. Dawn, toda. We are truly grateful to you. We also want to recognize our executive committee. I ask the officers of B'nai Israel now to rise and remain standing. The trustees of B'nai Israel to rise and remain standing. The officers and trustees of Sisterhood to now rise and remain standing. The board members of the LLC, our joint campus, please rise and remain standing. Our BBYO leaders and members, please rise and remain standing. Our committee members, please rise and remain standing. Education, I ask that our religious school teachers, tutors, teaching assistants, and staffers kindly rise and remain standing. Our confirmation students, please rise. And this last is another important element. I ask that the spouses of those leaders, if you haven't already done so, kindly rise And the children of these leaders now rise. Finally, a plug on behalf of our very capable and determined friend-raising committee. If you're about to make a reservation this week to the progressive dinner that will be held during Sukkot, kindly stand up or remain standing. You all stand for our open, inclusive Torah and for our congregation. May the Creator of conscience, who implants within us the desire to do good, bless you who rise today to receive our gratitude and praise. May you take joy in your achievements, finding meaning in a life of service, and may you go from strength to strength. We pray that all your endeavors will prosper and that your deeds will inspire others, bringing honor to our community and our people. We join with your friends and family in celebration of your good works, and together we say, Kol HaKavod, all honor to you, for you honor us through your deeds. Please be seated. Peggy Klein introduces our Haftarah.
Shana Tova. In keeping with tradition, on Rosh Hashanah morning, we read from the book of Samuel about Hannah, a woman who prays with a devotion for the things she desires most in the world. Hannah, the first of Elkanah's 2 wives, has thus far been unable to bear a child. And while she knows that her husband loves her, she feels this particular emptiness deeply. To make matters worse, she is taunted by Elkanah's 2nd wife, Peninnah, who, having been brought into the family after Hannah appeared to be barren, has given birth to 10 sons. When Elkanah, Hannah, and Peninnah make their annual pilgrimage to Shiloh, Hannah prays fervently to be able to have a child. Her manner of praying, lips moving but in silence, leaves Eli the priest to believe she has been drinking, but she quickly tells him this is not the case, and that she is, in fact, a tormented woman. Interestingly, as an aside, Hannah's mode of praying becomes a prototype for how one should pray, quietly, but with the words clearly articulated by her lips. Hannah's heartfelt prayer is answered by God, and she soon becomes pregnant, giving birth to Samuel, which translates to, she asked God for him. As soon as her son is weaned, Hannah, as she has promised, brings Samuel to Shiloh, where he joins Eli in the priesthood. In contrast to what is typical for priests of that time, Samuel's service is to be both lifelong and continuous. As an adult, he is also a judge and a prophet, and is reputed to be a man of the highest moral caliber, with unique insights into men's character. He recognizes in Saul the modesty and humility the Israelites need to see in their first king. Samuel's subsequent choice of the charming and the brilliant David as the 2nd king ensures that the push for national security and national unity will prevail.